Hey guys, today I'll be talking about a simple search algorithm called the linear or sequential search. The way the linear search works is, if you have a key, you start with the first index in the array, and you increment by 1 each step along the array, until you find the value that you're looking for. So if we're searching for the value of 6, we take one step, reach the second index, take another step, reach the third index, take another step, reach the fourth index, and finally, at the final index of the array, we arrive at the value of 6. And since this is the worst case, the time complexity is linear, which means the amount of time the algorithm takes to find the value you're searching for linearly depends upon the size of the array. Now we're going to see how we can write up some code in order to implement this algorithm. I'll be using C++ in an Xcode IDE. So first we can start by defining a Boolean function called sequential search that passes in an integer array, an integer key, and an integer array size. The next thing we want to do is define a for loop where we loop over the beginning of the array to the end of the array minus 1, since the array in C++ is 0 indexed. And we increment our index. The next thing we do is we define a conditional statement where we say if the array value at the index we're currently situated is equal to the key, then we return a value of true. Otherwise, we return false. To fix this bug, and that should be good. Okay, now let's test this function. First thing we can do is define a test array. Let's say it has 5 elements, and it has the values 1, 23, 0, 14, and 7. Next thing we want to define is the size of the array. We can define an integer array size that equals the size of array divided by the size of a single element in the integer array. Next, we want to define a Boolean value result, which equals the sequential search function, where we pass in the value of the array, the number we're looking for. Here, the number we're looking for, we could say we're looking for 23, and the array size. Okay, we're almost done. Next thing we do is write a conditional statement that says if result equals true, print out this value is in the array. If result is not equal to true, we print out the opposite statement. So we can say this value is not in the array. So now let's try to run this algorithm and see if we get the output we expect. Since we pass in our entire array and we're searching for the value of 23, we should expect to return this statement. This value is in the array. So let's run this. And it worked out. This value is in the array. Now let's search for a value that's not in the array to see if we can catch the condition at which we're searching for a value not in the array. This value is not in the array. So it works perfectly. This algorithm is of linear complexity, time complexity, which means that it linearly depends on the size of the array. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, please put them down below, and don't forget to subscribe.